Hello and welcome back to the Aslan Health Podcast. Today we're beginning a new 3-part series on a concept that should change the way that you view stress, recovery, and the rhythm of your life. Heart Rate Variability, or HRV. Friend, a healthy heart isn't a metronome. It adjusts moment by moment to your needs and your life stresses. That subtle beat-to-beat shift is what is called heart rate variability. Most people believe that a perfectly steady heartbeat's the gold standard, and in some cases, like during surgery or medical emergencies, that can be important, but in everyday life, your body tells a different story. Heart rate variability is a physiologic metric that can be measured and tracked with wearables, providing the data and the details that you need to transform your health choices from trial and error hunches into a fast track of data-driven real-time decisions that truly have the power to transform your health. So today, we reveal the details of HRV, not just as another number to obsess over, but as a powerful window into how your nervous system is doing and how it can positively impact your decisions as you pursue the healthiest version of you moving forward. Let's get to the heart of the matter as we reveal HRV, your nervous system's dashboard. Are you ready?
Welcome to the Aslan Health Podcast, where science meets soul. Your host for this program is Dr. Mike Hauman, an experienced physician, a certified functional medicine provider, a certified insight coach practitioner, and a devoted follower of Jesus Christ. If you're tired of feeling stressed out, exhausted, overwhelmed, or stuck in survival mode, you're in the right place. So take a deep breath. Let's be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Here's Dr. Mike.
Let's begin discussing HRV with an analogy to grasp the concept. Most people treat their health measurables like a speedometer. How fast is my heart beating? How many steps did I take? How high is my blood pressure? What's my resting heart rate? Stuff like that. Well, heart rate variability is a number that can be tracked, that's true, but HRV is so much more. It's less like a number on the speedometer and more like the tension on your car's suspension system. It can provide detail on how well your physiology can handle the bumps of life as you travel down the road. For example, how well can you absorb the stresses of life? How long does it take your body to return to baseline once you're stressed? Can you freely shift gears as needed? Can you take the twists and turns of life without losing control? Friend, that's what HRV reflects, and it's an incredibly valuable tool to help you navigate your well-being throughout your journey and along life's path. It's not how fast you go, it's how well you adapt to the road that you're traveling that matters. This life is a marathon, not a sprint. Monitoring and understanding your HRV can help you enjoy a smoother ride no matter the terrain that you travel. So, what is heart rate variability? Simply, it's the measurement of the time variation between your heartbeats. Not your average heart rate, not your resting heart rate, but the micro differences between the beats measured in milliseconds. Importantly, HRV is not your average heart rate. It's the micro variation between the beats. Let's say your heart rate's 60 beats per minute. You might assume that means one beat every second, right? But in reality, your heart might be beating like this: 0.92 seconds, 1 second, 0.98 seconds, 1.01 seconds. That variance, those subtle differences in time, well, that's HRV. And it turns out that those tiny shifts say a lot about how your body is functioning, particularly the nervous system responsible for the electrical signals. Essentially, HRV is a reflection of your autonomic nervous system's status. Now, that system is what runs your life in the background, the stuff that you don't think about, like your breathing, your heartbeat, digestion, hormone release, blood vessel tone, temperature regulation, immune coordination, all that stuff. As we've discussed on previous podcasts, the autonomic nervous system has two main branches. The sympathetic nervous system, think of this as your gas pedal, we discussed that before, It helps you take action. It revs you up. It prepares you to flee or to fight. The other component is the parasympathetic nervous system. This is like your brake pedal. It helps you rest, digest, and recover. It slows you down and restores balance to your system. You need both. Just like a vehicle, if you cannot accelerate and brake when needed, a crash is inevitable. And a good vehicle, just like a healthy nervous system, doesn't live in just one gear at one speed. It shifts, it responds, it adjusts to the conditions of the moment. And HRV gives us a way to see that flexibility, to understand how well the autonomic nervous system is working. HRV reflects the modulation of the heart by your autonomic nervous system, especially vagal tone and the associated parasympathetic influences. So now let's reveal some details. In general, when you look at your HRV, a higher HRV tends to mean more resilience, increased resistance to stress, better recovery, a stronger parasympathetic rest and restore influence, and greater adaptability. It's like saying that your system can bounce back. It can handle the bumps in the road. You have a reasonable margin for error. And conversely, a lower HRV suggests higher existing stress load. We talked about allostatic load before, poor recovery, overtraining, inflammation, illness, poor sleep, overload, and emotional fatigue. But, and this is important, HRV is not a static score. It's not a report card, and it's also not a fortune teller. It's information. It's status update data. It can be incredibly useful, but only when interpreted with wisdom. So let me reveal the truth and clear up a few myths about HRV. Myth number 1, a high HRV means that I'm healthy. Well, not always. Some people have a good HRV and still need help in many other health-related areas. Just like other health metrics, it's one component of a bigger picture. Myth number 2, a low HRV means that I'm sick. Well, not necessarily. Your HRV might be low because you're in a hard season, or because you didn't sleep well, or because you had too much caffeine, a late dinner, and drinks at a business meeting. Myth number 3, I can compare my HRV to other people I know. No way. That's like comparing shoe sizes with them to determine who's more like Jesus. Your own HRV needs to be tracked to observe your own trends. That's where the benefit and the helpful details reside. As with other health-related items, you may already monitor items like your body weight, your blood pressure, or your cholesterol. All of these have an anticipated normal range in the general population. However, observing how your specific diet, exercise, and nutraceutical interventions affect those numbers provides the information needed to determine what's working for you personally and what is not. Importantly, wearable brands use unique specifics and formulas to report their HRV to users. So do not compare your numbers across devices or between individuals. For example, if two people say, my HRV is 40, well, that may mean two completely different things, like saying my temperature is 98 degrees without clarifying Fahrenheit or Celsius. Your HRV is sensitive to a lot of things: breathing pattern, blood pressure, hormone levels, inflammation status, sleep quality, body temperature, mental, physical, and emotional stress, just to name a few. Think of it like your nervous system gathering information from all of your body systems, then sending out a message. Here is our current system capacity, our status, and here's how quickly we can recover. There are factors involved which you cannot fully control, like your age or certain environmental factors, illness, inflammation, genetics, hormones, stresses, etc. But there are many factors over which you can exert a great deal of control: your mental and emotional state, your rest, your sleep, your diet, your hydration, exercise training, breathing rate and pattern, alcohol and caffeine use, etc. So if you implement a change in any area of your life and you're not monitoring your HRV, you're missing out on a pivotal way to track the efficacy of each intervention. Which leads us to a logical next question. What's the best way to find and track my heart rate variability? Well, the answer is to use a commercially available wearable, such as a ring, a watch, or a strap, one that best suits your lifestyle and personal needs. Now, I created a video lecture on that topic for my Energy Restoration Roadmap program, and it details my opinion and my take on several different wearable options and products. I placed that video in the Aslan Health Podcast library on YouTube if you're interested in my opinion regarding specific products, brands, or categories. And you can find that link to the YouTube video in today's show notes as well. Well, before we close today, let's look at the impact of something like heart rate variability through a biblical lens. In Scripture, peace is never the absence of difficulty. Peace is the presence of God with steady dependence on Him even in the midst of difficulty and change. Think of Jesus sleeping in the boat when the storm raged. The disciples were panicking, the waves were crashing, and they fear for their lives. But Jesus is at rest, balanced, and at peace, asleep. Luke 8:24 says, "And they went and woke him, saying, 'Master, Master, we are perishing.' And he awoke and rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and they ceased, and there was a calm." Now that's a fully regulated, resilient nervous system, a balanced HRV, if you will. Friend, the storms of life will come for sure, have no doubt. Jesus experienced them, as did the apostles. But what happens to you in them? Are you resilient? Are you calm within the storm? Does your physiology demonstrate that as you journey through life? Now, don't misunderstand me. Your HRV cannot provide you with spiritual peace, but it can tell you if your body, and specifically your nervous system, knows how to return to safety and peace after the storm has passed. My friends, decades of serving hurting people has proven to me that we do not recover well, the alarm never turns off, we don't sleep well, we don't breathe deeply, we're always on, and we have very little margin for error. And friend, if that's you, hear this clearly. You are not wrecked, wrong, or weak. You may simply be overwhelmed, overworked, overstressed, under-recovered, under-supported, under-informed regarding what you actually need. This means that there is hope of becoming more resilient as your HRV rises. Because if you can measure it, you can understand it, track it, improve it, and replicate it. Okay, so now what? Well, this week's reveal practice is notice what moves the needle for you. If you already track HRV over the next week, notice and write down your HRV numbers and how they respond to a variety of factors like sleep quality, alcohol intake, late night meals, intense workouts, emotional stress, challenging conversations, travel, illness, and anything else that you notice. Then compare that to your baseline HRV. And if you don't track HRV yet, well, consider watching the YouTube video that I mentioned and ask yourself, what makes me feel wired or weary? What makes me feel steady or stuck? What helps me feel restored or roasted? Because progress on your health journey begins with awareness of which choices lead you down the path to wellness and which are simply an empty cul-de-sac. So as a final encouragement, my friend, if your life has been demanding, and if your nervous system feels like it's been running on overdrive, that's understandable and all too common. That was me for decades, burning the candle at both ends and in the middle while pushing for more. Well, that's not best, and it's certainly not abiding in Christ. But better is possible. We can live wisely and well. But remember, The goal isn't to become a person who never feels stress. The goal is to become someone who recovers well from that stress, a person who can exhale, a person who lives like Jesus with calm in the chaos. Not because the world is always safe and the road is always smooth, but because God is always good. He is faithful. He will never fail you or forsake you. Isaiah 26:3 reminds us, "You keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you." My friend, may your mind stay on him. May your nervous system learn to rest, and may you begin to see your HRV as a tool to help you move forward wisely on your unique health journey. Well, this is Dr. Mike Hauman with the Aslan Health Podcast. Please subscribe and follow for the next episode, when we'll discuss how to reset HRV by reviewing the common levers that increase and decrease your numbers, helping you to reset your nervous system to a more resilient you. Until next time, may your body regain its rhythm, your mind restore its clarity, and your heart be steadied by the one who never leaves you. Shalom, my friend.